I have been loving my everyday natural glam routine lately, and so I decided to share with you guys what the routine actually is. So let's jump right into it. Starting off with a fresh face, I'm going to be going in with my e.l.f. primer, and this is the one that's compared to the Milk Hydro primer. And I just kind of do a tapping slash swiping motion, kind of like I'm putting on lotion in a way. And I try to apply it all over my face until it gets sticky. I'm going to be going in with my concealers first, and what I'm going to be using is my e.l.f. Hydro Camo Concealer in Deep Caramel, and for the Maybelline concealer, I'm going to be going in the shade 144. And I didn't apply too much, I only applied a little bit because sometimes the less is more. And what I'm using first is the e.l.f. concealer, and I'm applying that to the high points of my face, as y'all can see. And then for the Maybelline concealer, I'm only going to be applying that under my eyes. But once I applied the camo concealer everywhere, I'm going to be buffing it out with my concealer brush, and don't be alarmed how it looks. It's gonna look kind of crazy first because we don't have any foundation on, but what I'm doing is just blending out the edges and making sure everything is smooth and seamless. And what I'm doing is a tapping slash, not so much swiping, but a little bit of swiping. It's mainly a tapping motion just to blend out the concealer. And when you're blending it out, try not to go too far away from the high points of your face. As you can see where I put the dot in the middle of my forehead, I'm still kind of trying to stay in the center. I'm not trying to go too far over. Make sure to always stay kind of close to the focal points of where you put the concealer at. And I blend everything out except for under my eyes. I'm only blending out the edges of the concealer that's under my eye because I want that to set a little bit longer, because once you let it dry down for a little bit longer, it's gonna make the concealer a little bit more full coverage. And what I like to do is I like to bring my concealer all the way up, as y'all can see that I'm doing, because I like to allow the concealer to give me basically like a facelift but with makeup. Once I'm done blending out the edges of the first concealer, I'm going to be going in with my Maybelline concealer, and I'm only applying a little bit just in the inner corner of my eyes, but I'm not going to be blending it out just yet. So now for foundation, I'm going to be going in with my e.l.f. Soft Glam foundation, and this is a satin finish, which I love, and I'm going in with the shade 50, which is deep warm. It's a little bit on the orange side, but once you let it oxidize a little bit, it's going to be completely fine, and that orange color is not going to be there anymore. And what I did is applied a couple of dots to the parts of my face that I didn't apply the concealer. And what I'm doing is just going in with a tapping motion, and I'm going to blend my foundation up into my concealer and into my concealer, so we don't have any harsh lines, and so everything can be blended out smooth. I don't know why the first concealer looks so yellow. It's not that yellow, but my lighting kept changing on my camera, so excuse that. So as y'all can see now, it doesn't look as yellow. But once I blended out the foundation, I'm going to be going in and blending out the rest of the concealer that's kind of under my eyes, except for the inner corner. I'm going to blend that out last minute after I apply my blush. Once I'm done blending out that concealer again, I'm going to go back in with my foundation brush just to make sure the edges are blended out. And that's the whole secret to like makeup. Make sure you just use your foundation brush just to to blend out any harsh lines. Once that's blended out, I'm going to be going in with my blush, and this is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Cheek Tint, and I am using the color 62. And if you are someone who likes natural blush, this will be the perfect blush for you because it is not full coverage of a blush. It is like an actual skin tint. It is very sheer. As y'all can see, I apply my blush where my concealer and my foundation meet, and I put that right on top. And then I added a little bit to my nose, but once I applied it to where I like it, I'm going to be going in with this beauty blender, and I'm just going to be blending it out the same way that I kind of did my concealer and my foundation. Once I blended it out to my liking, I'm going to be going in with my black opal foundation stick, and I'm using the color Suede Mocha, and I only apply it to my cheekbones, and that's it. And this is going to be used as a bronzer just to darken up the face and add a little bit more color back into the face. And to blend it out, I'm going to be using my foundation brush. If you want it to be more not as blended, basically don't use your foundation brush to blend it out. I just use my foundation brush for everything, and I'm doing the same thing, a swiping / tapping motion. Now I'm going to be going in with my One Size translucent powder, and I'm going to be using this just to set the outer parts of my face only and not my concealer. And what I'm using is my powder puff, and I kind of tap a little bit off on my hand before I start applying it to my face, just so it won't give as much as a white cast. Once I've applied the translucent powder to my face, to the rest of my face, I'm going to blend out the rest of the concealer. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to be using my Laura Mercier translucent powder in the color translucent, I think. I'm gonna have the translucent honey. It was translucent honey. But as y'all can see, I'm only going to be applying it under my eyes, and that's it, and not to the rest of the face. And the reason that I do this because the Laura Mercier translucent powder is a little bit, I guess I can say, thicker, and it's going to leave me more of a bright under eye. And so like the One Size, it don't leave as much of a bright under eye, but this one is for sure going to give me a flawless under eye as well as a bright under eye. And I actually take my time with this because I do not want none of my concealer to be creasing. So I make sure to cover everywhere that I apply concealer before I move on to the next step. And I also make sure to blend out the edges of the powder as well so it won't leave harsh marks. Now I'm going to be adding some bronzer, and I'm using my Juvia's Place bronzer in the color Dark. And I'm going to be applying there exactly where I applied the cream bronzer. And for this step, I am doing a swiping motion because I like to be bronzed up. So I'm going to keep going back and dipping into that bronzer until I like it. As you guys saw, I didn't apply no cream bronzer into my forehead, but I'm still going to be applying some powder bronzer into my forehead just so the outer of my face can be bronzed up. And this step is totally optional. What I like to do is I like to go back in with the Laura Mercier powder, and I like to cut the bronzer or contour that I just did. And this is just going to make the bronzer pop a little bit more. And I let that sit for a little bit before I dust it right back off. I hope you guys can see where I started, and so where my ear opens up, that's where I started, and I make a line to where my mouth meets. I hope that makes sense. And then once I make that line, I kind of drag the excess powder down. Once I'm done with that, I like to set my smile lines because I have really harsh smile lines and I hate it. But I use the Laura Mercier powder just to set the smile lines as well. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to be going in with my Juvia's Place blush duo, and I'm going in with the volume 3, and I've been loving the top blush recently. It's so cute. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a tapping motion, and I start off at the outer of my face and I bring it up to my actual cheek. And this is gonna make sure you don't add too much to your cheeks, and so it's gonna be looking crazy. Make sure to start off with the outer corner of your face and blend it to your cheek, not the other way around. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to be going in with my Maybelline Superstay foundation powder, and I'm going to be going in with the shade 355. And y'all, I am obsessed with this because it is a foundation, but it's still a powder, and so it gives that full coverage than a regular face powder. And what I do is I dip in it a little bit, then tap the excess off, and then I blend in circle motions everywhere around the face that I then apply the bronzer, blush, or concealer. So basically the outer of my face, and then the excess powder that's left on my brush, I'm going to be going in and wiping off the rest of the powder where I set my concealer at. I don't apply no more powder on the brush, just use the excess. And I don't think I even mentioned why I do this, but the reason that I don't add any extra powder when I'm dusting out the powder under my eyes is this is going to still give us that bright under eye. And I'm going to be going in with my Lancome not foundation, mascara. This is my favorite mascara ever, and I don't know how to pronounce it, but y'all see what that looks like. And I'm using the color black, and I'm obsessed with it. I highly recommend this mascara. While I'm doing that, I might as well do another self plug. The reason I didn't fill my brows in because I tinted them a couple of days ago using my brow tint, and so it just saved time in my makeup routine. So I highly recommend that you guys go get your brow tints off my website, www.royalblissbeauty.com, and I mixed the color Onyx and Mocha together to give me this natural brow color. But once I'm done applying my mascara, I'm going to be going in with this Makeup Revolution highlighter. I don't remember what's the name of it. I'm going to have to put it on the screen, but I just apply it to my nose and to my cheeks, and this just make the makeup pop a little bit more. And once I'm done with that, I apply this mole because I actually have a mole right there, but you can't see it once I have makeup on. But once I'm done with that, I'm going to be adding my brown lip liner, and this is by Wet n Wild, I think. And I think it's the color Simmer Brown if I'm not mistaken. But once I apply my lip liner, I'm going to be going in with my Prada lipstick, and I'm gonna put the colors on the screen because I completely forgot the name of each and every color that I'm using for my lips. And once I'm done applying my lipstick and my liner, I'm going to be going in with these two lip gloss colors. Y'all ain't gonna lie, I tried to keep this for a while, but I'm gonna decide to share with you guys. I'm going to go in with Lava Cake by NYX on top of my lip liner, and this is like an extra lip liner basically, and I just blend that out. And then once I'm done applying that, I'm going to go in with a shade that match my lipstick color, and the shade that I'm using for the lip gloss is going to be NYX Fortune Cookie. And y'all, I think they changed the formula because when I had my old lip gloss, it was like a lighter pale blush, kind of like my lipstick. But recently I went to go get a new one, and I don't know, the color just looked different, but whatever. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to be going in with my first setting spray, and this is just the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. And once I let that dry down, I'm going to go in with this Mario Badescu Rose Water, and I'm going to use that as a second setting spray. And the reason that I use the rose water is because I like a dewy finish, but if you don't, I don't recommend it. But once I let that dry down, this is the final look of the makeup. And y'all, I've been doing this makeup routine for a couple of months now because I just love it so much, and I'm so obsessed with it. And let me know if you guys do this makeup routine. Let me know if any tips that I share with you guys help. And your girl looks good, not gonna lie. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you made it to the end, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about this video and this look, and I'll talk to you guys later. Love you, bye.